Got a few questions for you today.
Sure.
Don't want to take up a whole lot of your time. You're doing a great job with everything you're doing here in Gatlinburg, at the Gatlinburg Inn with the Songwriters Festival.
Always fun to be here.
Exactly. Great place to be if you love music. But on a personal level, you've got countless nominations and wins in the Grammy department.
I appreciate that. I don't know if it's countless now.
Well, it is to a lot of people. It seems like every time something comes out that's Grammy nominated, you're hooked to it somewhere.
I appreciate that.
It's the most humble guy in the world.
A bit of a stretch, but thank you.
Well,
that's kind.
You're a very humble person, and that's pretty good for somebody that's as talented as you are.
Thank you very much.
You've had a pretty successful career, and I mean, it started at a young age. And where can you go from here?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think, only God knows that. I'm just so thankful to Him that career, you say, has been very successful. Now, there's plenty of others that have made a lot more money, but I don't rate success by that.
No,
I've been so blessed to so many things that I've wanted to do have just fallen into place. And I've been at the right place at the right time, and I don't believe that just had too much to do with where I was walking or where I was driving at the time. It was, the good Lord put me in the right place at the right time.
Supposed to happen.
And it really has. I mean, I could tell you endless stories of stuff like that can't be explained any other way. And I'm so appreciative of that.
Well, I'm very honored to have you as a friend and somebody that I can bounce ideas off of sometimes. I'm sure some of those 11 o'clock at night phone calls get old, but it's.
Well, I haven't blocked you yet, but I'm
not yet. You already. No, but I'm glad to have you here. We're going to be talking with a couple other fellas while we're here, and
absolutely.
So just hang around.
Well, I'll be here. I'll be pointing fingers at them while you're interviewing them.
Yeah, I know you have a habit of doing that.
That's right.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, today I'm with Mr. Tim Stafford. Tim, how are you?
Good, Rick. How you doing?
You're with the guys from Blue Highway, as if you guys didn't know already. But we are at the Songwriters Festival here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So how's it working out for you? Are you having a good time?
I really am, yeah. I came the first time last year by invitation to Kim Williams.
Right.
He was a good friend of mine and co-writer. And then this year, they asked me to come back again. I was like, I had a good time last year, but I'm having an even better time this year. Connecting with some folks that I met over the year and who also were here, and it's just turned into a fun time.
It's a great place to be.
It really is.
I've I talked to quite a few people around, and a lot of people have a lot of questions about you.
Oh, yeah?
When I did my research to interview you, I just found out so many wonderful things about what you've done in your career and how long. Normally what I see is about, yay long about somebody. But dude, you had like 4 pages of stuff that you've done in your, well, I don't think you're that much older, okay? You've done a lot, and it's got to be just a passion of your life, first of all, and it shows in the performances that you guys do and just what you do as an individual. And I've just seen such a wide range of education. You're a really smart guy.
Well, I'm educated. I don't know about this.
Yeah, exactly. Educated is good.
I thought I was going to be an academic at some point in my career, and studied to teach history and English, and worked on a PhD in history for 2 years in Ohio in the mid-'80s.
Wow.
And not long after I got back to East Tennessee from that, I started playing music again and ended up in the band that would lead to me joining Allison's band. So
right.
From that point on, I've been in music, so
that's it.
I never looked back.
Well, we're honored to have you here today. We're going to sit down with the other 2 cohorts we have in the room. We're not going to say who they are right now.
A couple of good ones, though.
Oh man, let me tell you, I don't know how many Grammys they are in this room, or nominations, or hit songs. I'm not even going to attempt to do that. Okay, but we're going to have a good afternoon. I appreciate you coming by. Okay.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, man. All right. We're here with Jerry Salley, world-renowned songwriter, along with the other 2 clowns we got sitting over here. That are making it really tough to do this, by the way. Anyway, we're here at the Songwriters Festival in Gatlinburg, and Are you having a good time? I guess that's the
Oh,
first question I
oh.
need to ask everybody.
We always have a good time over here every year. It's,
Yeah.
It just seems to get bigger and better every year. And,
I think so.
And they treat us so, it's kind of like Minnie Pearl would say, they treat us so many different ways, you're bound to like one of them. So.
It's a good. I don't think I've had a Minnie Pearl joke in a while. It's pretty good. But anyway, you're. I talk to all these people and they say, man, this is Jerry Salley's his year. And I mean, it's basically what it is. How much success has come your way this year?
Well, I've been really blessed and a lot more than I deserve, that's for sure. But in the bluegrass world alone, I've had about 42 different songs recorded, and that includes some stuff on my own record.
Right.
But I was on the Steel Drivers. I had 3 songs on the Steel Drivers record that won the Grammy this year.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the Chris Stapleton Traveler album that won a Grammy, and had 4 #1 bluegrass hits. I've actually had 5 since as of last week.
Wow.
But it's been a wonderful year. I've had a lot of great gospel things. I've had a #1 in Australia this year in the country market over there. So this is not a usual thing. So
You can stop anytime. I'm going to run out of tape,
It's an unusually great year, and I've really.
Well, I don't think so. I think with you and the other 2 guys I got in the room, man, it's just, I don't know if I should have probably brought another camera or something. Battery could run out at any minute. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate you standing in and talking to me this afternoon.
I appreciate you, Rick.
All
Thanks
right.
for being here with us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rick Dollar with NetRadioDogs.com, and we are live in the big town of Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the Songwriters Festival that happens once a year here. And man, I tell you, these guys have been playing all weekend long, and I think they're all just about tuckered out. So I figured if I could get Carl Jackson, Jerry Salley, and Tim Stafford to sit down for a few minutes, I'm doing pretty good. Maybe.
You know what sold it, don't you?
Depends on what they say. See,
You know what sold
Carl's already been a smarty pants.
Well, I mean, look, the rocking chairs.
That's what it is.
We've been looking for a place to sit down.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I want to thank all of you for coming in to the Gatlinburg Inn and talking to me. Man, I can't look at you at all.
Glad to be here.
Last time I tried to interview Larry Cordell, I was looking at him, and it just did not work out. Anyway, Tim Stafford, you're with Blue Highway. You've been everywhere, and you've done a lot. I don't know where to start. You've had a great career, just like the rest of these guys. It's almost like sitting down with a dream team of songwriters. And I mean, I'm not tooting your all's horn just because you're sitting here. There's plenty of numbers to back all this up. So
We appreciate that.
Yeah. very
not a
much.
problem. Tim, I guess I get to see you more than anybody because you're around the Kingsport, Tennessee area some, and we're out of Bristol. So, but it's kind of cool to look out the crowd sometimes, and there's Tim or Wayne Taylor or any of these guys that are just real heroes of mine sitting out there enjoying what we're doing. So,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, it means a lot. But what's in store for you in the upcoming year? I think you got like a solo album coming out.
Well, I had one 2 years ago, and I'm actually working on one now that's
Mhm.
it's all instrumental. It's guitar,
Wow.
original guitar things that I've been sitting back for years and finally decided to put out there. And I'm going to do a few duets like with Stuart Duncan and Gabe and Largen, our new dobro player, who's absolutely off the charts,
Yeah.
great. And the rest of it's just solo guitar stuff. But that's not going to come out for either, maybe a couple of years, we'll see. But the band has a new record coming out.
Yes, they do.
And it's September 9th, official release date. It's
Name of the record is?
Original Traditional.
Yes, and it is.
It's all traditionally oriented songs, and we felt like they kept looking at, you get an album done, you look at the titles on the album and say, well, what would make a good title cut, and not one of them jumped out at us, so we thought, well, it's all original tunes, it was specifically meant to be a traditional record, so we thought, well, why not? We've had people ask us, how do you feel about doing an original traditional? It sounds like a contradiction term.
Yeah, really.
But really, it's not, because I think when you think of the first generation of bluegrass, it's not that we're on that level, but those guys wrote their own material. And you think of Bill Monroe, Lester Flatt, Carter Stanley, Don Reno, some of the great writers, not just in bluegrass history, but country music, and history of music, period. And so I felt like we kind of fit in the tradition of doing our own songs, and
You do.
that's why we called it that.
Well, that's the cool thing about Blue Highway and just being in our area. There's a lot of guys there's a lot of bluegrass groups, and they'll go out and they'll play about a fourth of their set is going to be original stuff, and most of it is covers. But you know, like you're saying, I'm in the same boat with you, man. If you don't play a Scruggs tune or something while I'm there, I'm probably not going to think too much about it. You know what I mean? But it's great to have, you know, guys like y'all that are around and such great songwriters. It's just ridiculous. I mean,
Well, we've been blessed. We got 3 guys that love to write, and so we always have a lot of material, you know,
Yeah, that's
from
great.
within the band. So we feel like that's part of our identity, and that's why
Oh,
we
yeah.
keep doing it.
that's great. So don't forget that Blue Highway album coming out soon.
I got my email today that I could pre-order it today.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
really?
That's,
Yes,
that's why I knew about it.
That's
I was like,
Timing is everything.
well, I'm gonna talk to Mr. Salley here. Like I said, man, I don't know what to say about your year. You're just blowing the doors off of everything. It's a shock to me.
Me too.
In a way, no, I don't mean it that way. In a way, it's a shock, but on the other hand, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he could write a song for a jingle for a candy bar, and it's Grammy nominated.
Well, I don't
It's
know
just
about
crazy.
that, but it's just been an unusually good year. I don't think a lot of people thought Stapleton was going to even have the kind of record sales or blow up like he has, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know if y'all remember, he had an incredible performance at the CMA
Yes.
Awards night. And I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, I'd say 90%, maybe 95% or more of the audience, the TV audience that night had never seen or heard of him in their life. And it changed his whole world, you know?
Crazy.
And it really led to a lot of record sales and a lot of accolades for the album.
Now, when he used to come to Rhythm and Roots with the Steel Drivers,
Yeah.
man, the first time I heard him, just belt one out. I was like, "Phew, man, I just got chills, and good Lord, how did he do that?" And he just kept going.
It's so effortless for him.
It is.
We, one of the first songs, maybe the very first song we ever wrote was a song called Midnight Tears that they actually cut on the first Steel Drivers record.
Right.
But I write a lot with Tammy Rogers with the Steel Drivers,
Right.
and had 3 songs on their album.
Incredible fiddle player.
So, great fiddle player and a great songwriter.
Mhm.
And we've been writing quite a bit of songs together. And
That's good.
But it's just been a great year, you know. We all kind of live in the bluegrass world for
Right.
most of our careers and where we are most of the time. But so it's nice to have. I was telling some folks at the workshop that Carl and I did the other day. You still have the ability in the bluegrass world that you don't have in the country world most of the time
Mhm.
to actually be able to approach the artist and talk to the artist. So as a songwriter, it means a lot when someone will call you or email you or reach out and say, hey, we need songs for this, you know. And
Wow.
and we can still do that in our work. We work
I'm sure that happens quite a bit to you guys. I think that's a big deal for y'all. Y'all probably get like 50 a day, don't you?
Well, we get a lot of requests, but a lot of times, you know, we got to sit down and try to write something else for the
Yeah.
next one, you know.
Exactly.
So, but it's been an unusually good year, and I'm just feel very blessed.
That's good. Man, I'm right with you guys. I feel like I'm incredibly blessed just to have you guys around me. You know, I mean, the knowledge and everything that you guys have, what you're doing is just amazing. Thank you. Yeah. We'll go to the Ole Miss fan there.
Yeah.
Toddy, but
I tried
Oh
to
God,
sneak-
here we go.
I'm as big a UT fan as he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I'm a
Watch
Virginia
out.
Tech fan, so y'all really gonna hate me.
Uh-oh.
And you're really not gonna like me in a couple months.
No, you're really not gonna like me.
Oh,
Here we go.
Lord. Well, that's rough, ain't it? Yes, sir. Well, Carl?
Toddy.
Oh, buddy, yeah, let's go somewhere else. As far as songwriters go, I mean, you guys are, like I said, you guys are incredible.
Thank you.
And talking to you a year ago or so, you pretty much gave me your entire story, which was an awesome piece of material. It was just incredible. I quote it every once in a while to people, things that you have told me, not just about you, but about the business and how things started in Bluegrass and the people you knew, and just a wealth of knowledge there. But
Appreciate that.
what you been up to lately?
Just trying to keep up with these two guys.
Oh, good luck. I bet.
Oh, that's fun.
I figured you guys turned the town of Gatlinburg on its ear already, so.
We've had a great time. We always have a great time over here. Cynthia Reeves puts on a nice shindig over here at the
She does.
Yeah,
Smoky
she
Mountain
really does.
Songwriters Festival, and we're proud to be here and honored that she asked us to come and just have a good time while we're here.
Yeah,
You know, Jerry and I, we picked some last night. We're gonna pick some more tonight. And,
that's awesome.
you
Where you
know,
guys gonna pick at?
We're gonna be at Three Jimmy's.
Three
tonight.
Jimmy's.
Three Jimmy's,
Yeah.
it's not restaurant, they call it eatery. Three Jimmy's Eatery.
Probably, that's kind of like a restaurant, probably.
It is, yeah. You can eat there, I know that.
They got food, so.
Where you playing tonight, Mr.
I'm actually at
Stafford?
the Park Vista Hotel
Oh,
up there.
yeah.
There's a lobby up there that I haven't been there yet, but they say it's nice.
Yeah.
It is nice.
It's a nice place. Well, I hadn't been up there in a while, but I remember it's just a really cool place. I mean, the whole round hotel thing is
Yeah.
pretty cool with me.
I've stayed there, it's been 20-some years, but it's been a long time. But that guy, the one that they're talking about, Three Jimmy's, is nice. The way I played there last year.
Yeah.
After you guys, and it's a cool place to see a rider's round.
Well, Mr. Orthophonic Joy,
Yeah.
what's in works for you in the future, man?
Well, I got a Bradley Walker record that needs to be finished. We've kind
That's
of
an awesome guy right
It's
there.
been on the back burner for quite a few years actually, because we did the record and Rounder decided they didn't want it because it was too country or whatever, and it's just a bunch of great songs.
Yeah.
You do a song, you know, it's a great song. You don't worry about whether it's
No.
too country or too bluegrass or too rock and roll or too whatever. It's just a great song.
That's right.
But we're going to get around to finishing that record.
That's great.
Hopefully
That's one
soon.
guy I would really like to sit down and talk to is Bradley Walker.
Well, we can fix that.
Okay, great. Man, I love you guys.
But that I got another project that I honestly can't.
He cannot talk about it.
I can't talk about it. I mean, believe me, I want to,
I know.
and I will be able to soon. Man.
Okay.
And
No problem.
and I'll promise to talk about it with you.
All
Because I
right,
want
there
people
we
to
go.
know about it, and it's something that I'm so proud of, and so proud that's happening, and it's going to mean a lot to a lot of folks, I believe.
Good deal.
I know it is to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Want to ask you a question, and maybe in a little bit, slow it down a little bit here, about Glenn. I know you're close friends with him, and you know, you hear a lot of things, good, bad, ugly, and you don't really know what to believe and what not to believe in the press anymore. And I feel like if you go to the source, you know, the guy that you know knows him better than anybody, maybe you could give the fans out there an idea of how he's really doing. And
Well, I mean, Glenn does truly have Alzheimer's. That is
Right.
true, and but most of the stuff you read is not true.
okay,
Glenn is very, at this point anyway, and you know, I'm sure everybody knows kind of how that disease works.
yeah,
I could change at any minute, but right now Glenn is really, really healthy, other than having Alzheimer's. And he can't communicate. I mean, we can sit down and have a conversation like this, but we don't know what it's about.
Right.
It's similar to somebody, imagine like you take Webster's dictionary and dump it out here on the floor in a bucket, each word.
Yeah.
And Glenn reaches in and gets words and makes sentences, you know, out of things
Yeah.
and that's just kind of the way it is. But somewhere down in there, he knows what he's talking about,
He
because
does.
he'll laugh or smile, or, you know, he'll talk in his Donald Duck voice like he always did. But it's still,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
and I just go along with him. We sit there, we have a conversation. and
That's
it's
awesome,
just
though.
Glenn, you know.
but he needs you to be his friend like that right now.
Well,
You know?
absolutely, and he's got great friends, and he's got great family.
He does.
You know, Kim and Ashley, Shannon and Cal have been absolutely so wonderful to him, and that's other things that you read a lot of turmoil going on there.
Mhm.
Well, there's, you know, I can't say that there isn't some turmoil going on there, but it's not caused by them. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
He
I
is
can only imagine
He
what
is
it's
well
like.
taken care of, and so much of that stuff you read is not true.
Right.
It's just not.
Well, that's good.
Kim is a godsend to Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn wouldn't be here without Kim.
I bet.
Absolute
You
fact.
remember the first date, man?
Sorry?
You remember the first day you met him?
First day I met Glenn?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell that story. That's a good one.
Well, I was in Columbus, Ohio with Keith Whitley, Jimmy Goodrow, and Bill Rollins.
Wow.
And we had formed the original country store. Which, you know, in that formation, we were together about a week. We had talked about doing this band, and we got together. We met in Columbus, and we actually went into Rome Studios over there and turned the tape machine on. We recorded 5 or 6 things just straight to 2-track, which I still have.
Oh my gosh.
Those are really fun to hear. And we played one show. I can't remember where it was, but it was just a little trial thing. You know, we went out and played for the folks, and they seemed to enjoy it. Well, the next day, Keith and I were sitting at the breakfast table reading the paper, and we saw Glen Campbell at the Ohio State Fair. Man, we both were huge fans of Glenn, so we decided we'd go out and see him. And we did, and man, Glenn was in his prime, you know, right there. This was 1972. The Good Time Hour had just gone off the air, but I mean, he was the hottest thing in the country, period.
Yeah.
And it was a great show. We loved it. Larry McNeely was with him playing banjo.
Oh, yeah.
It was just super. So we saw the show, and then we went to the Midway, had some fun, walked around, saw the sights, threw the baseballs, and did the whole routine. You know.
Waved at the girls.
Yeah, waved at the girls. Yeah,
Sure that happened.
Chased them.
Oh my gosh.
But we didn't catch any.
That's a whole nother interview.
And we headed back to the car.
Yeah.
And we had parked the car where we had to go right by the backstage area of the Ohio State Fair. It was out in the track, in the middle of the track where he was, and they had trailers set up back there. So we were walking by there, and I look over to the left, and there stands Larry McNeely. And he's standing out there shaking hands with people, signing some autographs and stuff. And so I told Keith, well, I'm going to go over and say hello to Larry. You know, I don't know if he even knows me, you know, but I'm going to go say hello to him and tell him how much I enjoyed the show. Right. So I did that, walked over there and waited a couple of seconds till he got free. And I said, Larry, my name's Carl Jackson. I just wanted to let you know, man, I loved the show. I love your playing. And, you know, I had known him when he was playing with Roy Acuff. But we had never met, believe it or not. He played with Acuff, and I played with Jim and Jesse at the Opry, but we'd never crossed paths. And so he said, Carl Jackson, he said, man, I love your playing. What are you doing here? And so I told him the whole story, you know, and that Keith and I saw it in the paper and decided to come out and see him. He said, well, what are you doing tomorrow? And I said, well, nothing that I know of, you know.
Really?
He said, well, come by here and let's do some picking together. I said, okay. So the next day, I went by there. They were, you know, playing again that night, and so I went over early, and Larry and I got backstage there in one of the trailers, and just started playing banjo together, you know, playing back and forth. And I had no idea what was going on at first. He kept asking me to play things. Can you play this? Can you play that? What about this right here? Do you know this? Yeah. You know, whatever. Still had no idea. And looking back on it, I know what he was doing now, because then he just stopped all of a sudden. He said, would you like to have this job? And I said, well, yeah.
Sure.
You know, and the odd part about that was that in my yearbook and stuff in school, in high school, I know at least 3 different people had signed my yearbook, you know, see you on Glen Campbell one day. Because the Good Time Hour was huge at that time, and they equated John Hartford and then Larry McNeely with me because I played banjo, and it was like that seemed like the natural thing to happen. Well,
there you
all
go.
of a sudden there's Larry going, "Do you want this job?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, give me just a few minutes," and he left me just sitting there. You know, a few minutes he came back and he said, "Come with me," and we walked to the next trailer over and walk in and. There sits, you know, my hero. You know, he was definitely one of them. And he, Jerry Reed, Chet Atkins, Mickey Mantle. You know,
We had the Mickey Mantle talk.
Yeah,
That's a good
Mickey
thing.
Mantle talk.
I'm
That's
glad
a
you're a
good talk,
Yankees
too.
fan,
But there's
sir.
that's one of my biggest, one of my biggest heroes of all time, Glen Campbell, and he went through the same routine. You know, he said, "So you play banjo?" I said, "Yeah, play banjo." You know, and Of course, he had me get the banjo out, and then it's the same thing. Can you play this? Can you play that? I remember he asked, can you play Little Rock Getaway? Yeah. So I played it for him. Well, can you play guitar? And I said, yeah, a little bit. And at that time, I couldn't do it now, I don't think, but I could play everything he'd ever done. You know, because I loved him so much. I mean, I just sat in front of the record player and learned this, even, you know, like for once in my life, you know, I learned that solo and all that stuff, you know. And so I played a few things for him, and I remember he said, can you play the claw? And I said, yeah. And he said, play the claw for me. So I played the claw for him, which I could play pretty good at that time. And he said, how much you want to make?
Uh-oh, now there's the question.
That was the mistake, you know, because the 18,
no, man, it wasn't. I don't think
the
it was.
18-year-old kid in me, I said, $1 million.
That's right.
He just laughed, and you know, and he said, you go home and get your stuff together, and I'll have my business manager call you next week, and you're hired. And he hired me on the spot, and so.
Where'd you go after that with him? First trip?
First trip, we played 2 dates in the country.
Yeah.
We played the Illinois State Fair. No, I'm sorry, the Nebraska State Fair, and I can't remember where the other date was. I want to say maybe it was in Illinois or somewhere. We played 2 dates in America, I remember, and then we went to Australia for 3 weeks.
That was your first trip?
First trip. First trip.
Yeah, now just think about it. Let me go through this one more time. You meet Glen Campbell,
Yeah.
your hero.
Yeah.
He hires you on the spot.
Yeah,
Then, after 2 dates, you're in Australia playing with him.
that's right.
Okay, I just want to get that right.
That's right.
Hey, now, I've heard that story, which is incredibly, I never get tired of it.
Yeah.
What I want to hear is, what happened when you went back and told Keith Whitley you had already quit the group you just started?
There we go. Now,
Okay, I can
I
tell
think
you.
them firecrackers
You went
was
there to
rough.
start the
I
band with
went
those
there to
guys.
start the band, and I want to tell you, that night, that evening after I left Glen and went back, it was not well received.
Oh,
Yeah.
Keith and Jimmy and Bill, they all were a little bit perturbed with me.
oh.
You know, and I'm like, you know, and I'm like, guys, I mean,
It's Glen Campbell.
look, it's
Yeah.
Glen
And it's
Campbell.
not your fault. It's not like
No.
you went there to.
No. And the
Let
next
me go say hi, man.
And the next morning, after they slept on it, it was just like me. It was like, man, it's Glen Campbell. We're sorry. We're crazy. I mean, you got to do this. You know, you got to do this. And they totally understood. And of course, we remained friends.
I've always
so,
felt-
so close friends.
I've always felt like it was a God thing, the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
because you,
I feel like that
to have
too.
been there for that reason,
Totally.
then to have been to the fair, and then to have seen Larry, and just by chance he was out there as you're going
Totally
to call.
believe that.
Too
That's
big of
it.
a coincidence. Yeah.
all the
Yeah, I mean-
all the writings in the yearbooks and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just too much. It's not. I believe that totally.
I do too.
I
It's
believe
crazy
it totally. And
sometimes.
those kind of things have.
Of course, if you hadn't worked hard and got with Jim and Jesse and spent all those years and.
That's true.
Yeah, then they wouldn't have even wanted
That's true.
to,
Do you know, I
wanted
mean,
to talk to you.
Some of that was, I feel like, the same thing. I mean, my dad
Yeah.
kind of basically forced me to go to the first Jim and Jesse concert. And it wasn't that I didn't like them.
It's just
I think Ole Miss was playing football that night.
Oh, okay,
No, I'm
there you
serious.
go.
I remember I believe they were playing
It was-
football,
it
and I
was-
didn't want to go. I wanted to stay and listen to the Ole Miss game.
It was either that or you had a date, you don't know.
Well,
Well, I tried that with him the first
I
time.
was about 12, so I don't think
You're out chasing girls, weren't you? And he's like, I don't know.
I can't remember that.
That's right, I
You
forgot.
know, but anyway, he talked me into going, and then took me backstage, you know, because, I mean, you could just walk backstage anyway, pretty much like any.
Like it is now.
Like you can now.
Same way, you know, there's not a lot of security around. So we just walked back there, and Daddy asked if they'd listen to me play, and they did. And then, I remember he told them, he said, if you guys ever need a banjo player, you know, please keep us in mind, you know.
Wow.
Well, a couple of years later, you know, Jim
Your
Jim
daddy
called.
was trying to get rid of you at
I
an
could
early
try
age.
to, you know,
If you wasn't mowing the grass right or something, something's wrong. The dogs were starving. Where's Carl? We don't know.
He's in there learning them Glen Campbell ways.
Exactly.
You learned that?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Learned
Well, I'm
to
gonna
know
tell you
for-
something, boys. Y'all just made my weekend. I feel like we've had some fun here.
It's
And,
been great fun, it's great to.
there'll be more in the future. We'll sit down and talk again, fellas. No doubt
Absolutely.
about it. But
Thank you, Rick.
it's been great to talk to each and every one of you. You both have a great gift that you can share with the world. And man, just keep going. It's making things a lot better in this place, you know?
Well, thanks, Rick. That's
We
very
appreciate-
kind.
we appreciate you.
Totally agree with what you guys are doing, and that's why every time I get a chance, I sit down.
It's good to do an interview with somebody that really cares.
I appreciate what you do.
And we couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for folks like you, so.
Well, I appreciate that
Very,
too.
very
but,
much.
That's really not what I'm here for. I like to get the word out and put it where it needs to be, and in the light that it needs to be put in. Rumors can be bad, they can be damaging, and nobody needs to listen to crap like that. You know?
Well,
We
I'm
need
honored to be here with these two guys.
Yeah, I'm telling you, love
Same here.
Yeah, what a night, I tell you.
Appreciate it.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Tim Stafford,
Thank you.
Carl Jackson, Mr. Salley.
Hotty toddy.
That's right. Rick Dollar for Net Radio Dogs. Oh, God, if you could only be
If we
here.
win, it'll be the SEC championship.